Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about Scarlet Nexus, kind of like a general discussion slash review with spoilers or whatever. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we're gonna get started with this. So if you don't want to see any spoilers, please back out of here. I really don't like doing these kind of reviews because I don't like to spoil the story for anybody. I really don't like to do that, and that's not the whole intention of that. But I need to talk about this game, and like I want to. I mean this review. I mean this review like this explanations kind of be all over the place. So stick with me, guys. Like this is gonna be interesting. I was just recording one, and like it was all over the place. So I just wanted to get that out now. This is gonna be all over the place. This is gonna jump. I mean, I'm not going to follow it chronologically by any means. Like, I am going to talk about stuff as I remember it, and like, because this is for me, like, to really explain kind of why I like this game and why it sits with me so much, and how after 2 days after beating the game, I can still remember like a lot of it, and it sits with me, and I think about it, and I really like this game. Okay, so basically, yes, if you're sitting on the fence about this game, definitely like it's good. Buy it. Like I was able to sit right through this game and not and want to see this game all the way to its conclusion. I mean, the story's pretty good. It's nothing like super spectacularly special or anything by any means. But like it was engaging enough and good enough to where I was like, yeah, dude, that's pretty cool, man. I want to see how this goes, you know. Maybe I'm just easy to please. I don't know, but I felt that this game definitely deserves the time to play it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this right now. Like I said, none of this is gonna be chronological. I'm gonna remember stuff, you know, while I'm talking, and I'm gonna put that in there, and it's gonna confuse you. Maybe, I don't know. Like it is or isn't. But I'm gonna like touch on like the stuff that I thought was really cool and the story beats that that I thought were cool. So hang in there. Just go with it. Just watch it. Just listen to it. I mean, see my excitement about it because I really liked this game. Okay, so basically, I played as Yuito Sumeragi, and this dude's pretty cool, man. I like Yuito. He's got that like it makes me feel like, you know, like there's still a good guy in this world with everybody out there right now with the whole cancel culture and, you know, saying good is bad and bad is good. I mean, like this like really this made me happy. Like for this guy to be as cool as he is, and he's not like no freak or any of that kind of stuff. He's just a good dude. Okay, he's definitely somebody I would want to have as my best friend. So Yuito Sumeragi, basically his family runs the I don't know the name of these places. I know the town Soho or yeah. I don't remember the names of the government and the other thing, but I just don't know how to pronounce it. Like I do, if I heard it I could pronounce it, but I did not write it down. I did not put any notes in there because I was not really planning on doing this video. So Yuito Sumeragi, his family basically runs the government, you know, and this government is kind of an oppressive government, whereas they monitor everything you watch, they feed you information. They basically, underneath the whole city of this new place, they have like this machine that can basically go into every living person and feed them direct information. So I mean, it's definitely a control state. You don't really find this out till about I don't know, maybe halfway through maybe a little bit less than halfway through the game is when this little thing starts to unravel. Okay, so basically, when you first start the game, you're just an OSF member, like a special forces elite team, and you're going out there and you have these enemies called the others. They're basically the monsters of the game. Later into the game, you're gonna get to, you know, basically the OSF is gonna split in half almost, And like you're not gonna become enemies per se, but you are gonna fight each other, almost like Dragon Ball Z with like Vegeta and Kakarot, how they fight like all the time, but then they're friends, but then they fight. You know, it is cool. Like you'll literally go into a battle with these guys, and then 10 minutes later they'll be like, "Hey, come and meet me at the place and let's talk." You know, and you're like, "All right, whatever." You know, and you just go and talk. So I mean, it's kind of cool. It's not like you guys are enemies, but you it is. I mean, it's entertaining, to tell you the truth. So basically, your family runs this place, and then your dad gets assassinated. You know, a little while into the story, and you think it's because there's two characters, Yuito and Kasani, and basically, you know, she's standing there over your dad with a knife in her hand, and like you guys fight and stuff, and from that point on, it's like you guys are enemies until another part in the story when you guys aren't enemies, and then you find out she's your sister. And yeah, dude, this game has multiple story arcs, and it's pretty cool. Like, it's pretty entertaining. So you have the control government, you have the rebel faction, and then you have the religious faction that isn't really a religious faction. Basically, okay, in order to explain this case, so basically humanity had left Earth and went to the moon. All right, and so because Earth was just uninhabitable, and Earth was uninhabitable for 1,000 years, and then they finally were able to get it to the point where it was habitable again, and then they sent colonists to recolonize. But because everybody was on the moon, and on the moon they were getting overpopulated, so they sent all these people back to the world, and then that extinction, they create this extinction belt that turns people into others, like people into others, monsters or animals into others. And they just leave this thing there to block people from Earth coming back to the moon. So the Sumeragi family, for like 2,000 years of like pioneering and like creating this new world or whatever on the world, while surrounded by all these monsters and stuff, they have like this revenge thing, and they want to get back to him. But basically, so the religious group is basically people from the moon, but they're in like cryogenic sleep, and they wake them up every, 100 years or something, to try to find a way to get back to the moon, because these guys just want to get back to the moon. They don't want to deal with the whole Earth thing or whatever. So basically, they invent time travel with these red strings or whatever, and both Yuito and Kasani can use this power, as well as their mother, which it died when Yuito was a little boy, but Kasani had come back from time to save Yuito. Like, oh gosh, dude, just talking about this kind of makes my head hurt. Okay, guys, like there's so much in here. It's like, what? And it's entertaining. Like, it's entertaining. Like, you'll want to play this game and stuff. So basically, that's kind of the gist of the story or whatever. And in the end, well, there's this part where Yuito and Kasani, when they're like after something happens, they this black hole Nexus thing opens up, and like within like 50 or 100 years or something, it's going to swallow the Earth up and just like restart everything and like take it back, time travel it or whatever to a different time, using this red string power. But in order to in order to save the population, they have to close this. And I'm not going to spoil the ending for you. Like, the ending was pretty cool. I like the way it ended up. But basically, there's this whole thing, like all three fractions. The control government's trying to annihilate the religious group. The other guys are trying to annihilate the control The rebels are trying to annihilate the control and like bring it like bring awareness to all the people and stuff. And so basically, what happens is like both teams are going to separate. Like I said, half are going to go one way and the other half are going to go the other way. And then you're going to continuously, battle them and others at the same time. This game's got some pretty cool boss fights. Like, I like the boss fights. They weren't like super like Dark Souls hard, but you definitely need to learn these powers. And I highly, highly recommend that you do all of the friendship things with all the other characters, because every time, like when you have a group, you can borrow their powers and stuff. So the more you increase your bond, the stronger those powers get. Like I'm almost kind of maxed out with most of the characters and stuff. And it does get to a point in the story where like it'll give you multiple interactions to where you can level up a lot quicker and stuff, because once you guys all come back together and start, trying to figure out how to fix everything as opposed to destroying everything, you're gonna need like all these powers, because that last freaking level is freaking insane, man. You get like 2 boss fights, you get to fight a whole bunch of big others, you get, oh my gosh, yeah, dude, it's pretty intense, man. And that thing lasted like 2 or 3 hours, man. It was a long time. I just remember I was like, oh gosh, man. But it does give you places to save multiple times, so I mean, like after every big encounter, basically you got a save spot if you need it. I'm freaking blown away with just how good this game is. I am surprised that I was able to just sit all the way through it. The story was good enough to where I was like, wow, this is great. I know I'm not doing it justice the way I'm explaining it right now, but like just the things like the combat. The combat does start off I wouldn't say clunky. I would say more like neutered. Like you don't really have like much power or whatnot. Like you kind of feel weak at first, but strong enough to do what you got to do. But as that builds, man, oh my freaking gosh, dude, the combat towards the end of this game is fast and fluid and fun. Like I was having a blast playing this, to tell you the truth, and like using everybody's power in conjunction. Like it's pretty fast paced. Like you get everybody's power and you get everything all like you get everything, like you get like, because well toward the end of the thing you'll have both groups all together, so a total of 8, and you can like switch over to one set of 4 or the other set of 4, so you get 8 different freaking powers that you can use, like electricity, fire, clairvoyance. You've got like the fast like where you can transport, kinda. There's a couple more, but I kind of freak. Or you get the power to like multiply yourself and stuff like that. Yeah, dude, it gets freaking pretty good. Like you get all these different powers, and then you can like use them in combat, and some of them you have to use for certain enemies, which is even cooler. Like you get like it's fun. These boss fights are pretty cool too, because they're like big, and like they're big, and they take a little while, and you got to figure it out. But once you figure it out, it doesn't it gets a little easier. Like you'll start to notice, like which enemies you have to find, because there's enemies that can go invisible, and then you use clairvoyance, and then you can see them and you can find them and stuff. But there also might be another one that you have to use, like the dash move or the teleport, to hit them real fast before they like climb up to where it doesn't do any damage. Like this game makes you think a lot, and the combat in it is pretty freaking good. Like you're gonna get to moments where you're like, oh my gosh, like it's gonna stump you for a minute and like frustrate you a little bit, but once you figure it out, like it just, oh my gosh, this game was so good. I am gonna play through. I don't know if I'm gonna play through the whole Kasani story, mainly because I don't know if I like her move set. But with Yuito, you get a sword. Ooh. Sorry guys, I'm kind of a little bit tired tonight. But like the supporting cast, like Hanabi, Genma, Sugumi, just Luca, and all the people that surround you all the time, it's really really fun to interact with them and stuff. And like when it comes to like cutscenes and stuff, the cutscenes are mostly like a still image, but then you'll see like whoever's talking, like their head will appear and they'll talk, and like it's fully voiced. Everything's fully voiced, so that's pretty good. At the beginning, there's like cutscenes, like actual cutscenes, and at the end, there's like a pretty long, like full motion cutscene, which is pretty cool. It's almost like watching an anime movie or whatever. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of that for everybody, and it's pretty freaking, like, it's pretty good, man. These characters and stuff are written pretty good. They're not all angsty and cryy and whiny and like just over the top with their, and I kind of like that. It's a little bit more serious, but not super serious to where you're like, oh my gosh, I liked it. I was pretty good with all of that. I'm definitely not going to spoil the ending of this game for you. You're going to have to play that. That's pretty good. But yeah, when it comes to, you know, the boss fights, let's talk about, like, you know, like some of there's definitely a lot of story arcs. I didn't tell you all of them. I want to leave something there for the imagination for you to play this. I really don't like spoiling games, guys. This really sucks, but I really wanted to talk about this. So basically, you do have like an open hub, like a whole city, you know, full of people or whatever, the one that you protect or whatever. And you can like run around here. It's not too big. It's not like there's not like a whole bunch of secrets or anything in there that I found. You can definitely run around and like collect stuff or whatever. Whenever you go to meet somebody, at the Mashubis or whatever, like it's like a little hangout place. Like it's always like a still image cutscene with the two heads talking. You can explore this open hub, but it's not that big. It's really not that big, but it is pretty fun to like run around and stuff like that. The my overall enjoyment with this game stems from, you know, the characters not being annoying and the characters being pretty well written. The story arcs, I liked the story. Like, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, that's the best story ever, but it was good enough to keep me entertained the whole way through, and I was happy, and I wanted to see this conclusion. You know, there's just so much, you know, that like is going to. I think this game is worth playing. I freaking loved it. I loved every freaking minute of my playthrough with this. Like I said, when it starts off kind of slow, but when it starts picking up, and it just gets really good. Oh gosh, I'm so tired, man. So it gets really good. I'm going to go ahead and end this video right now. I've been talking for 17 freaking minutes about it. I really like it. I hope that was enough to at least give you kind of like a general census of what's going on. If you're one of those kind of people that needs spoilers and stuff to see if it's something you're going to like, I like the combat. It was great. I like the boss fights. They were great. They were definitely fun. They were challenging, whatever, you know. The last level is basically you're going through all the areas that you've already been through. Not all of them, but like I think there was 7 of them. You'll go through like a lot of different areas, and you'll fight like different things and solve some you know. I mean, I don't want to say they're like big puzzles or anything. They're just like going and flipping a switch here, fighting some stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna do some of that stuff, but overall, like, it was good. I do felt like the last level was a bit drug out, and there was like big boss fights littered with little stuff, and I mean, it was good though, and it was definitely impactful to the point where I really like this game, and that's why I decided to do this thing. So I'm gonna leave you with that. I keep yawning, and I don't want to, you know, keep ruining the video. Oh man, yeah. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.